Hey, what's going on, my beautiful people? This is Certified Life and Relationship Coach, Coach Court. In today's live session, we're going to be answering questions from the subscribers. And unfortunately, the questions are only going to be from the subscribers. So if you guys aren't subscribed yet, I would recommend that you do so. Glenn, what is up all the way from across the pond? It's good to see you. He's one of my admins. He's been here for a really long time. And it's so cool to be able to connect with these guys and continue to help them achieve some of their goals in life, which is, personal development, becoming the best version of yourself, um, healing whatever attachment style that you have, and just being able to just be a happier and healthier human being overall. Period. So I'll give you guys a few minutes to hop in the session. It's kind of a weird time of the day. If you guys are jumping in, Halima, hi, it's good to see you. If you guys are jumping in, you have questions. If you're a subscriber, make sure that you are subscribed. You're sending these messages because, as always, the questions that you guys have, it's going to be most likely something that's useful to other people in the community too. So there's no such thing as a stupid question. No questions are dumb. All questions are valid. Your opinion is valid, because I'm all about perception. Being able, in order to be, if you are a coach that want to be the most, I don't know, impactful, or you want to bring the most value to people, I always believe that you need to be able to see this perspective of the people that, even if they're opposed to you, you have to be able to see the perspective from their point of view. And that's what it's all about. Your perception shapes your reality, because you can be, viewing things totally different. Like me, I'm here in frozen tundra, Wisconsin, -21 weather right now, and my friends over from Florida and from Cali, they're all looking at my situation like, wow, how do you tolerate that? I'm like, well, you kind of get used to it. Actually, um, we become a little bit more isolated as far as when the wintertime comes around. We actually kind of like it. But for me, I suffer from something called SAD. If you guys aren't familiar with that, it's like seasonal something disorder, where, the lack of the sun, the lack of being able to be active, it kind of causes like this little bit of a depression. And it's like this gloom. It's always over you. I refuse to go into depression. So I kind of figured out my own little remedy. I have this thing called an SAD light, where it mimics like sunlight. So if you sit in front of that for a little while, if you guys are familiar with SAD as far as like the disorder or whatever, um, check that out. Go ahead and check out the light. Seasonal affective disorder. See, I knew somebody was going to hook me up. Hold on a second. I need to boost this out to Instagram too. Give me 2 seconds, people. If you have questions, I am going to answer them for you right now. If you're in a situation where you're trying to get yourself out of it, I'll try to help you the best I can as far as like the best route to take. Give me a second. I want to make sure that I get this on camera. I see all you guys. All right. So I'm going to put this on Instagram really quick. I'm sorry if you guys are in the middle of the workday and I'm here dilly-dallying. I apologize, but it's important to make this session valuable. All right, so don't forget, write your questions down. All right, I see you, Halima. I'm going to answer that really quick. Sorry for my English. It's okay. Not my first rodeo. First, I have to find the session. Hey, do me a favor. If you guys are on Instagram, or if you can jump over to Instagram, boost this out for me. Let people know that I'm online right now. It's I know you guys are from all over the world, over across the pond. I know it's like 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. So if you can help me out, that would be great. And I'm almost done. So bear with me here. I have a book I want to talk about. A book that I've read. This is my second time through. It was recommended to me like a month ago. Just a great, phenomenal book. And the book is called The Body Keeps the Score. If you guys are familiar with that book, I forgot the author. I've listened to it twice already. But it really breaks down things like attachment injuries. I mean, it talks a lot about traumas, about just how things work. And it's crazy because when I think about how I started my journey to healing and my journey to just learning, period, like I was always intrigued about the way the mind worked, the way people operated. And when I was working with at-risk youth, I would really study them. Like I would study like what made them do some of the things that they did. And I also saw like the background of where they came from and some of the things that they had to endure. So it gave me like a firsthand experience on um, their inner world, and I still do that to this day. Like I study people, period. Like I study people in like, celebrities and the media. I don't watch a whole lot of TV, but someone told me I should probably go do like a breakdown of the show The Bachelor, that's running right now, but I haven't really dove into that. I'm all about creating more content than I consume. So, and if I'm going to consume content, I want it to be something along the lines of what I do for my practice. But I'm gonna answer this question really quick. I am wondering why the bitter response. All right. Hi, I'm from Italy. My 4-year relationship ended on September 2021. But my ex, after 2 months, started to date a girl. Now they hit 3 months as a couple. Any chance to come back? I did a video about this, and if I remember to post it afterwards, I always say I will, but I sometimes don't. Can monkey branching work? I think that video might help you out, because I think in that video I talk a lot about how it's important to really like break down what the dynamics of your relationship was and whatever information that you know about this new person. That's going to give you your best guess as to whether it works. It doesn't seem like it was a monkey branching or a rebound situation. You dated for 4 years, and I'm a firm believer that it's going to take, if you've been dating someone for 4 years, it's going to take you at least 6 months to a year to really get over that person, to stop comparing them from, not being able to get over those feelings and those emotions that you have for them, because you don't just fall out of love with someone. So, will they come back? I don't know. Like I said, if they are meeting more of the needs that they wanted you to meet, if they are more compatible, it depends on how long they've known this person too. What a lot of people do is they get into relationships with someone that they were already in a relationship, they were already in a friendship with, they knew them already. They may have been Facebook friends for a while. They may have been friends of a friend or something, or somebody might have tried to connect them in the past. But um, it's a lot of different dynamics or little nuances that's going to determine whether or not it's going to work or not. Now, whether they come back to you, they could be using this person as someone that's like like a temporary fix or like a painkiller to get over you. And then if that's the case, most of the time when they do be with that person, they don't come back to you. And sometimes they try to make it work for as long as possible, especially if ego plays a part of it, where they feel like, well, I can't look stupid, I can't look like someone that doesn't know how to pick partners properly, and they want to prove to the rest of the world, like, hey, this thing here is real, this is the real deal, I finally found love, I finally found someone that's going to give me what my person before me couldn't give me. And we all know that that's just kind of like limerence talk, or that's something that people say during the honeymoon phase. So your odds of bringing that person back, look into it. Really, really analyze. Were you happy? Were they happy? Was this like a impulsive breakup? Because after 4 years, I can tell you that most people that leave someone after a longer term relationship, I would consider this being, pretty long. They have already analyzed this. They've already processed the pros and the cons on whether or not this is going to be beneficial for them, as far as like getting their needs met and their own mental health. So I guess that's the best answer. I can't give you a straightforward answer. Maybe we need to like schedule a session and have a one-on-one where we can just really break down exactly what was going on in the relationship, the dynamics, and your best steps to move forward. Thanks, Halima. 4 months break up with the dismissal. What's up, Lamont? My ex recently spent 2 days with me in the last 2 weeks, then proceeded to ghost last weekend with a new guy again. Today was finally the day I said goodbye. The reaction I got was anger. So yes, you were probably being monkey branch. We were together for 2 years. You were probably being not monkey branch. You were probably being breadcrumbed, where they like that familiarity of your relationship. It's literally the process where they're like feeling a little bit ambivalent. And they honestly, when it comes to like women, once their romantic feelings die for you, it's pretty much gone, man. And they will put you in the friend zone. And when they put you in the friend zone, guys think like, oh, I'm in the friend zone. Maybe I can still make this work. Maybe I can re-spark something. And that just, I honestly, if I'm thinking statistics wise, that rarely works, because what they do is they get that pressure off of them to make a certain decision. If you were to just go, whoop, done, never talking to them again, then they may be thinking like, all right, well, this person can easily move on like that. Then I must have made the wrong decision. But if you're like relieving that pressure, you're that security blanket. You're the person that's helping them out with. I'm not going to get personal examples, but I had a great example that just happened today. But I'm not going to share those details. But um, if you're the person that's always been there for them, I think one of the most toxic things for yourself is to tell someone after the breakup, I'll always be there for you. Actually thinking about that, I used to do that myself. I'll always be there for you. It just makes me cringe. It's like, why would I say that to someone? I'll always be there for you. When you've been crushed, when they have changed the terms of the relationship, when they have purposely downgraded their subscription to you. I like to think of it as like the Netflix subscription. Like you downgraded your subscription and you got the basic now. Like you're not going to get all granted access to my life anymore. So when you tell someone I'll always be there for you, then they're thinking, well, I can go out and make all the mistakes I want. I can go out and I'm gambling on the house's money right now. So I can go ahead and just, put it all on black. And then this person will always be there for me. So I'm not really tripping off of that. I have no fear of them leaving me. So I think my question to you the other day about my ex dismissive, unfollow me on Instagram after 4 months breakup. Yeah, I don't know if something was triggered in him where he just felt like he couldn't see you anymore, or it was helping him hurt. It was preventing him from healing. And that could have been the case, but I don't know. This is why, like, when you study people and you try to understand the human behaviors and why they do some of the things that they do. Some of it I'll never understand. Like when you're dealing with someone with personality disorders, like bipolar or narcissism or anything like that, sociopaths, and it's hard to really understand their world. I mean, you could kind of call out some of the characteristics of them, but to understand why they do some of the things that they do, honestly, it's a fool's errand, is what it is. Coach, you've messed my head up during our last coaching session. I was thinking about everything all day. Look, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to give you a unbiased, unbiased view on your situation. Because when you're in it, you're in the thick of it, you're in the trenches, it's hard for you to see. You can jump over the wall and get little glimpses of what's going on over there. But when you have someone with the bird's eye view and they've seen it and they've experienced these things before, like what really rung home to me was my stepdad many, many years ago. I think I might have been 17 years old. And I thought I knew everything. And you're 17 years old, you've seen it all, you've done it all. No one can tell you anything. Like high school, senior year in high school, yeah, I'm pretty sure I've been on earth enough. And that was completely wrong. It was absolutely false. And I apologize to this man to this day. So he told me, he said, Court, wouldn't you want to learn how to live instead of live to learn? And I'm thinking to myself, what kind of crazy question is that? Of course I want to learn. I want to live and learn, because that's how you learn, right? Like, no, there are people that's made failures before you. And I've read so many books on this. If anything, it's more valuable to learn from people's mistakes and their failures than it is to learn from their successes. You can't repeat success, but you can avoid the failures that they made to kind of like guide you on the right path. If that makes any sense. I don't know, I'm babbling right now, but my ex went into a rebound relationship, then came back to me because he realized he was still in love with me, but he allowed her to talk about me. I couldn't forget that he got with someone so quick. That's another thing that really hurts during breakups, like your loyalty. Like if you've been with someone for 10 years, 15 years, and then all of a sudden they get with someone else and they're siding with that person and they're defending that person, it's like such a betrayal. Like you feel so outcasted and like you never mattered. Like, who is this person? Like, you're an absolute stranger to me. How in the world are you siding with this person? And you're I call it, the replacement ship. You're replacing me with that person. And all of a sudden you guys are at this level of intimacy and attachment that we never were. At least toward the end. Like, we might have been at some point in that relationship, but toward the end, like, we were done, and you just went and just, now you're all on their side. Your team, what's that what's the Teen Wolf? What's that show, the series, the movie, Twilight Saga? Yeah, like, you're Team Vampire now. And that's kind of sucky. Hello, coach. Good vibes. I reside in China. Good vibes. Look, I just got this pretty cool um tiger's eye mala. So cool. Like, I feel like I have like the eye of the tiger, literally. Speaking of China, sorry, coach. I'm dating a DA. We're going into 3 years and 9 days. But recently something happened. He was so emotional charged after I had told him to dispose his exes. If someone's going to do that, when you're setting your boundaries, I'm all about setting your boundaries, being vocal about your needs and what it's going to take for you to feel comfortable and safe in the relationship. If they decide to do that, when you do that, then honestly, they just weren't the person for you, or they're not at that point in their journey where they can provide that for you. And it's usually a red flag for me if I ask you to do something and you're trying to prove to me that, hey, I want you to feel comfortable, I want you to feel safe, and you're just completely like, kick me out the door. Yeah, no, that's thank whatever. Thank the Lord's above. Thank whoever. Praise someone, because you're giving me my time back. And one of the most valuable gifts you can give anyone in life is your time. This is why we work. When you go into an employment situation, you're getting paid a certain amount of dollars an hour. Think about that. You're getting paid a certain amount of dollars an hour, which means they're paying you for your time. If someone was to come up to you and say, hey, give me $50, you'll say, yeah, right. But if someone, and you're making like, okay, so let's put that in like a dollar amount. Someone come up to you and say, look, give me $50. And you're like, yeah, right. I'm not giving you no money. But if someone was to come up and say, hey, you got an hour to talk? You say, sure. And you sit there and talk to that person for an hour, that's $50. Like, you can really be using that time to be earning $50. This is something that Bob Proctor talked about. He said that there's so many people that just willingly give their time away. And this is the relationships included. And your time is valuable. It's the one currency that we're never going to get back. There's no instant rebates. There's no mail-in rebate. There's no return on your investment. Like, you just don't get it back. So the biggest decision that you can make, or the most important decision that you can make, is who you decide to give your time to. It may sound curt, or it may sound negative or wrong, but I don't think so. I think it's smart. It's intelligent. And that hour or that 4 months that you were dating that person, I can almost guarantee you that prevented you from being more into your purpose, being more goal oriented. Because when you're spending that Friday, Saturday night and you're watching Netflix and you're chilling, you could be reading a book. You could be reading or listening to a podcast. You could be studying up on your craft and how you can push yourself further in the future. Because like Dave Ramsey say, you want to live like no one else today so you can live like no one else tomorrow. And the biggest sacrifice that you can make is how you spend your time. And me personally, when I went through my breakups and my divorce and all that, I brought it in. I just studied. I listened to James Allen as a man, think it over and over again on repeat, Think and Grow Rich. I just learned all these different life hacks, I guess you would call it. So, all right, I'm gonna get to these messages. Ex's bracelet. He got so emotional charged and radiated his anger to me and went silent mode. I was upset. Okay, this is a little bit more in depth. That sounds like some gaslighting going on. And if someone's going to gaslight you for stating your boundaries, not a good deal. Hey, coach, been 4 months since I talked to my DAX. It's been rough. How are you? I'm good. Keep going. Make it 4 more months. Because at this point, they've probably moved on. I don't want to sugarcoat anything for you. I'm not like that. It's not what I do. They probably moved on. It depends on how, relationship too. How long you guys were together. Of course, the girl cheated on him bad and broke him bad. What's your view on this? I just wrote a quote on this on Instagram. If you guys aren't following me on Instagram, It is I am Coach Court. Literally, I wrote a quote on this today. I think that's funny you say that. Uh, and the quote goes, "You've got two options. Let this devastate you and potentially not be able to authentically love again, all right? Or let this educate you about your patterns and what you need to change." And I'll read that again. You've got two options. Let this devastate you and potentially not be able to authentically love again, or let this educate you about your patterns and what you need to heal. So I think that's funny that you said that. So you got cheated on. All right. What did you miss? If you're someone that was in a situation where you got cheated on, what did you miss? What were the red flags that you didn't see? Was this person in a relationship before you and kind of cheated over into you? Did they monkey branch to you? Did they rebound with you? What is it that you missed that was the biggest red flag? Now, everyone has their red flags. And I think there's a huge difference between having red flags and having deal breakers. And most people ignore the deal breakers and they kind of see those red flags as a little yellowish. It's a little yellow. But then as those red flags start to build up, and you start to see more and more of this behavior, you should be really asking yourself, what's actually happening in this relationship? Are they actually this person this toxic, or are they going through a rough season in life? And that's one thing I noticed too. A lot of people that I coach, they're in a really, when they met this person, they were in a really rough season in their life, and they put a lot of stock into this person. This person made them happy because other areas in their life wasn't right. This is why COVID started. This is why a lot of people started breaking up and having issues during COVID. This is pretty much when my channel surged because their life became out of balance. Like no one can go to the gym. People working from home. They were, kind of hunkered down together. They got into a lot of situationships, and then they realized, okay, this person isn't who I really wanted to be with, or this person has changed since everything started to get stressful for them. And that's when the breakups happen. So you need to balance out your life. There's a term or a concept by Tony Robbins. It's called the 7 areas of life, or maybe the 7 pyramids, 7 layers of the pyramid of life. And it talks about how, in certain areas of your life falls out of balance, you're going to rely heavily on those other areas. So if you're going through a breakup, for example, your relationship is on the rocks. You can go 2 ways. You can either get real clingy and try to put all your resources into that, which means, you're selling your Xbox, your PS5, to get her the engagement ring or whatever it is that you felt like she always wanted. And then, your finances are in ruin. Your social life is in ruin. You're putting it all in, you're banking all in. But, you're probably eating like trash. You're probably not sleeping well, probably not hanging out with your friends. So when all this stuff falls out of balance, you make that person your everything. And then that's when things, I think I wrote a quote. Well, I did write a quote. I can't remember how long ago it was, but it goes, when a person feels like, when you make a person your world, that's when it starts to fall apart, which means, let me pause this real quick. Let me remember this. I got a lot of stuff bouncing around up here. Yeah, the minute that you feel like you can't live without that person, that's when they'll start thinking about living without you. And I feel like that's my truth now. When you go all in and we start to live for that person, that's when they'll start to think like, whoa, this is too much. Like I don't want to be your everything. I don't want to go all in. I just like this being casual until we figure it out and see where we're going. And everyone has time frames, and that's where you state your needs, you state your boundaries. Like I'm not willing to go 2 years and not be in a committed relationship, or not even a month, or not even a year. So what's up, Franco? Any more questions? I'm doing good, Ammunition. I appreciate you asking. I am just I got 2 major things coming up here. I don't know if I want to blast it out, but yeah, next week on Instagram, I'm going to be doing a live session with Apollonia Ponte. That should be pretty cool. If you're not familiar with her, go ahead and check her out here on YouTube. She's got some amazing content. I feel she's the #1 dating coach for men on YouTube. So check her out. Go to my Instagram. Check us out. We're going to be going live next Tuesday, 11:30 a.m. It's going to be a little early, lunchtime for a lot of people. But it's something I'm really excited about. And then at the end of the week, I'm going to be traveling to LA to go do a VIP session with a client in person. So a lot going on next week. I'm really excited. I'm excited to share my journey with you guys and let you guys see just kind of like how this whole business is developing and how I'm trying to reach as many people as possible. Because like I said, I want to be able to reach 1 million people this year. Last year, I reached 650,000 people. This year, I want to be able to go for 1 million, to touch 1 million people's lives, to help them heal, help them understand through education, through personal development, and through self-reflection. So I'm going to go ahead and end this session. And, like I always say, my new pitch is, when you go be love, you'll never have to find it. Namaste.